Hey, hey, welcome to Dear Diary, the Self-Love Podcast, where we explore the transformative path of honoring yourself, choosing yourself radically, and loving yourself unconditionally. I am your host, Amanda Beatty, and today's episode takes us back to April's workshop. In this monthly workshop series, I share my personal experiences and the tools that have been instrumental on my journey, all with the intention of inspiring and supporting you along your path. So, April's workshop was devotion. Whether you missed the workshop or you're eager to dive back in, this replay offers you the opportunity to embark on a powerful exploration. During this workshop, we embark on a profound journey that takes you beyond the confines of your mind and taps you into the wisdom of your body. Through the transformative power of somatics and harnessing the breath, we uncover and unleash your true inner power. So get ready to ignite your potential and embrace a deeper level of self-empowerment. Grab a cozy spot, prepare to be captivated, and let's embark on this empowering episode of Dear Diary together, where we honor ourselves, choose ourselves, and radically discover the boundless power of unconditional self-love. Let's dive right in. And if you enjoy this episode and you want to experience the breath work, I'm going to leave a link in the show notes, and I will be emailing everyone the video that will walk you through this breathwork practice that I did during the workshop. I'm really, really excited for you to check this out. I hope this episode serves you well. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list where I send weekly love letters. And in there, you can tap into the meditation and breathwork session that goes along with this workshop. All right, here we go. Thank you for being here. I'm so looking forward to just breathing life into you beautiful souls today. So whether you are relaxing, getting massage, chilling, hanging out, if you want to grab your journals, that is all good. If you just want to listen, if you're like me and you're a note taker, I'm encouraging you to do so. I really want to breathe life into you and share with you the things that I have I've really cultivated as part of my daily routine. So whether or not you spend time with me on an intimate level, or whether you've never met me or you're just seeing me for the first time, these tools, this practice has completely changed my life. Getting out of my head into the body, using somatic healing, the power of the breath, the intention behind tapping into me, shutting out all of the external world, external circumstances and peoples and energies, and really tapping into my own energy. Feeling into less of the balance of this, the doing and the plates in the air and all of the commitments and responsibilities and titles, less of this and more of this. Coming back home to myself has been everything. And that is why I titled this workshop Devotion, because I know a lot of people think, being devoted to or committed to someone else through love and loyalty. But today I invite you to be fully devoted to yourself. And the word devotion and the verb devote means to take the act, to take a vow, to be devoted to you. Deeply honoring yourself, radically choosing yourself, and unconditionally loving yourself. That is how I have found my power. That is how I've gotten through some of the most trying seasons in my life as of recently, and on this whole self-discovery and growth and healing journey. So I am so excited for you guys to be here today. Thank you for choosing to take this time to be with me. We're going to tap in today to what it would feel like to not hold on, not hold back, not grasp for more, not accepting breadcrumbs, no more spreading yourself thin, no more doing what you think you should do or what you have to do, and no more saying yes when you really mean no. No more saying no when you really want to start saying yes to yourself. It's not serving you, and you know this. And I know that each and every one of us have this inside of us just a little bit. Some days it's louder than others. But I really want to invite you for the next hour to just slow down, tune in, and just choose you just now, just today, just for this moment, and see what it feels like. And see how it would feel if you cultivated this essence, this practice, this routine, this ritual of choosing you over and over and over again. Because there's always going to be something pulling at us, whether it's kids, jobs, commitments, the people in our lives, deadlines, demands, our inbox, social media. There's so much stimulation that is consuming us, and it's creating a distraction. And in that distraction, it's shifting us away from ourselves. It's getting us more into the monkey mind. And it's taking precedence over what's really important. And that is ourselves. That is you. So we're going to get curious about what it would feel like to be devoted. I have spent many years in this healing relationship with myself, and I've done the inner work to clear out old stories, and I've released so many layers of the negative chatter, my inner critic, the ego. I've been practicing this nourishing self-care, especially as of this last year, right? The last few months of this year. And I've been exploring deeper practices of self-devotion and honoring myself and choosing myself and taking baby steps to get there. And so today, really what I'd like to bring to you is to just share my experiences, what I've been going through, how I've been navigating it. And this has been a season of self-devotion for me that feels more, it feels like a more intimate way of loving myself. It feels more committed. It feels more all in energy. There's more honoring of the magnificence of who I am. And that same magnificence is inside of you too. This season has asked me to go inward, to return home to myself, and to show up for myself in bigger ways than I have ever before. There's been a lot going on in my external world, in my circumstances, in my relationship, in the dynamic of my life. And instead of looking at all of the other things, instead of looking for the hard things, the insignificant things, I'm skimming, instead of skimming the surface of what's going on and avoiding myself and abandoning myself during these really hard times, I've decided to fully show up and say no when I mean no, and say yes when I mean no, and really not allow the circumstances and the fears to hold me back. So I want you to get comfy, and we're going to talk a little bit about somatic healing. We're going to talk a little bit about the different energy types, the different bodies of energy that we have. And then we're going to tap into a little bit of breath. I'm going to take you through a meditation. And then at the end, we're going to sort of seal all this up with some journaling, if you wish, to sort of help you integrate this. But today I want to lead you back home to your body, because that is where the magic happens. And so becoming devoted to myself, it meant making peace with myself, coming into deeper love and acceptance of who I am. It meant embracing my flaws. How many of you have these things that happen to you, these ways of being, or these old stories where you're just like, that's just who I am, right? And it's something that you don't necessarily like about yourself, but what would happen if you embraced those flaws? What would happen if you looked at your weaknesses, your imperfections, your fears, your shadow sides, and really surrendered to them? welcome them fully into your body, into your truth, what do you think that that would do for you? It has been so huge and so powerful and so transformational to love all the parts of myself. And in this journey, I can tell you firsthand, I went from numbing out, suppressing, fight or flight, drinking daily, just like checking out of life, checking out of myself. And I used my practice of devotion, I used my self care as a like damage control, once a week, once a month, where it was like shit hit the fan and I was like, I can't take it anymore. And that's when I would start to turn to self-love. And now it has become a daily practice. And somatic work has played a huge role in this. Soma, of the body. Somatic work helps you rewire your brain's neural pathways. It helps get you out of survival mode, which was what I was doing when I was numbing and distracting and coping. It helps you get into this more conscious state of emotional balance and awareness. It is used as a healing tool to develop you the awareness to get back into your body, get out of the negative thoughts and feelings and patterns while developing a more loving relationship with yourself. It helps you become a better feeler. And that has been such a huge part of this. When I first started into somatic work a few months ago, I was terrified of what I was getting myself into because my external environment felt really toxic and really hard. And I didn't think that I would be able to handle it. I didn't think that my nervous system was going to be able to handle it because I am like fight or flight mode. Here for it. Always running, always fighting, always freezing, right? And so my coach at the time was like, no, we're not looking for big ahas. We're not looking for big breakthroughs. We don't need to know how or why or when these feelings, these patterns, these things that are stored in our body happened. What we do get to do is become better feelers to just simply bring awareness to them. That's it. That's all we're doing. You don't need to fix, change, shift. We are just bringing awareness to the body. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This vibe and this energy of tapping in is so huge and it's so important, and becoming better connected with yourself so that when you feel like your outside world is controlling your experiences and your feelings, and when you feel sort of like you're just being blown with the wind, with whatever is happening outside of you, and when you start to spiral and just feel disconnected from your body, that's when you want to start tapping in. That's when you want to come back home to you. That's when the somatic practices and awarenesses really are so, so beneficial. So, I want to talk about the three body types. Okay. The mental body, that is the one that we typically live in. That is the autopilot state. That is our survival mode. That is our fight or flight mode. That is fear based, mind based. Okay. That is when we take in all of the circumstances and the information and the overwhelm from our external world. And it just gets trapped inside of this mind castle. And it's just recycles garbage to us and fear and overwhelm over and over and over again. Then we have the second body, that is our emotional body. That is how we define and connects us. That is how we define ourselves and what connects us to ourselves. That is the sensations in our body. That is the contractions when you're feeling really stressed or when you're feeling overwhelmed. These are the highs and lows. These are sometimes, some of us can act on these emotions. And This is why it's so important to tap into what's going on inside of our emotional bodies, because sometimes we're so in here and we have no idea what's going on in here. And we can act out of character. We can do things and tap into patterns that don't serve us anymore. Okay. And then the other body, the third body, is our intuitive body. That is our knowing. That is our intuition. That is our visceral yes and no. That is when life whispers, you listen closely. That is our clear gut instinct. So, do you break commitments to yourself? Do you trust that your needs are what get to happen and you get to say yes to them? Do you make promises and do you listen to what's going on? Do you follow your intuition? Do you trust yourself? Or are you walking through this life in that fear-based fight or flight emotional state, right? A lot of times we're living in the emotional body and in the mental body, but the intuitive body. If we can master all three, if we can find the balance of all three, that is where the magic happens. That is where you experience success and momentum and trusting that you are exactly where you need to be. Discerning the difference between fear and intuition. I want to talk about that really quickly. Because sometimes I think even I get the two confused, right? So what do you think your intuition feels like? What does it feel like for you when you get that like intuitive hit, that intuitive ping? Feel free to type it in the comments or just think about it or journal about it. Like it feels easy, right? It feels like a clear impulse. It feels like this loving inner knowing, like that's the way it is. That's what I need to do. That needs to be the next step, right? Your fear, it's a little bit more staticky. It's a little bit more chaotic. There's a little bit more contraction that is involved in it, right? There's a huge difference when you really slow down long enough to discern the difference. Crystal says it feels joyful, exciting, expansive. Yes, it just feels clear, your intuition. You know the fear. It comes with that chaos. It comes with that contraction. It just doesn't feel as... So when you are running through life with this following your fear inside of your mind, like, can you see where a lot of things would get tripped up? Can you see where you would fall to patterns that just didn't serve you and get in your way and just like repeat these cycles? Like, it's so easy. We've been doing it for so long. I know I got stuck in these patterns and these loops, and it's just like, I just thought it was the way that it was. Kim says she feels ease and calm with intuition and chaos and friction with fear. Yes, absolutely. So I want to really teach you today how I practice self-devotion, how I deeply honor myself, my feelings, my wants, my needs, listening to my desires, my inner wisdom, my intuition, and not avoiding the things that are hard, avoiding the things that feel like a contraction, not abandoning myself or listening to the negative self-talk, that mental chatter that just like chirps at you like, you're gonna do a workshop? Who's gonna wanna listen to you? You have no idea what you're saying, right? Like, y'all, I had my camera off when I started this because I was like breathing and dancing and like tapping in and just telling my ego to shut the hell up, right? Like, we got this. I'm in the driver's seat, right? If I didn't
take that time to be fully devoted to myself. Look at me, I'm like sitting up now, getting all into it. If I didn't take that time to fully devote my attention to what was going on inside of my body, to tap in, to use the breath, to listen to what was, honoring the feelings of like unworthiness or scarcity or imposter syndrome. If I didn't take the time to allow those feelings and thoughts to maybe not have a voice, but to take up precedence inside of me, to reside inside of me enough that I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and I got this, right? Otherwise, I would have probably spiraled and fumbled and canceled this thing a million times, a million times. So, getting curious about this deep understanding and knowing of what's going on inside of you and what that would feel like, and choosing to do this always, making the decision to do this always, not just when your life has gone sideways and you feel the chaos, not just on self-care Sundays, but all the time, every day, checking in with what's going on inside of you. And it's not always easy to define what's happening inside of you. Sometimes there are no words, it's just sensations. And that's okay too. So I want to ask you, when is the last time you got connected to your body, to your heart, to your intuition, and to your being? Like really and fully silenced all the noise and just listened to what was in there.